Hi, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the chairman for inviting me here and giving me the opportunity to present LedgerFunding. And let me introduce myself. I'm a first-generation immigrant from Taiwan, China. My family moved to the US during the US bicentennial, and we've been living in New York ever since. So I've always considered myself as almost a native New Yorker. LedgerFunding is my second fintech startup. The first one, I learned about the usefulness of alternative finance and how to start a business from scratch. Prior to that, I was the CEO of a Swiss software company and helped the founder to sell the business to the founder of Terminals, a core leading banking software company also in Geneva. And prior to that, I spent years in corporate America in sales, engineering, leadership roles with Computer Associates, LexisNexis, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, and IBM. LedgerFunding is a digital marketplace for trade finance. It uses enterprise blockchain to ensure trust. The problem we're solving is the ever-increasing global trade finance gap. The last figure that was released last month by Asia Development Bank was $2.5 trillion US. Now, Asia Development Bank has been tracking this since 2014. And this increase was about 47% since 2020 during the peak of the global pandemic. As you know, 80 to 90% of the global trade has to be financed by trade finance, one way or the other, exporter or importer supply chain, to get early payment or to get guaranteed payment or to get insurance. And interestingly, I'm sorry, go back to the previous slide, please. That in this latest survey, more mid-sized and large corporations are applying for trade finance. But as expected, they face lower rejection rates than the small and medium enterprises. Now, the good news is that there are non-bank and fintech solutions to help this, because high inflation, higher interest rate, and economic uncertainty and geopolitical volatility reduce banks' capacity to lend. Now, what sets LedgerFunding apart is that we have a trustworthy platform by design. So you may ask the question, why does trust matter? Next slide, please. Well, when the scandals break out in the online marketplaces or digital platform, in fact, I founded this company in the wake of financial scandals by Lending Club, where $22 million of loan documents were altered to meet investors' criteria. Fast forward to today, FTX, what's that young man's name? Sam Bankman-Fried? He has a secret program that allowed his trading arm negative balances up to $65 billion. Now we know that they use that backdoor to use customers' money to trade cryptos. Now, the Google advertising auction platform also has a secret program that sits between the businesses buying Google ads and the online publishers. So that secret program manipulates the algorithm to influence the pricing and redirect traffic so that Google can benefit even more. Now, there are other cases like Greensill. There was $140 million of unverified invoices to institutional investor. Now, if you look at the street level, when the small medium enterprises go to a loan broker, how do you know you get the best deal when the loan broker returns and say, hey, I got you a great deal from my network of 50 lenders? Is it because he get higher commission from one private lender? Or maybe there's a special of the week from another one? As you can see, the lack of transparency and the lack of internal control really creates a crisis in digital trust, especially when we have everything moving into the online world. Next slide, please. So what LedgerFunding has built is using the distributed ledger technology, enterprise blockchain, to tamper-proof the financial data that's imported into the system, and to use smart contract to make sure that algorithm cannot be manipulated to advantage certain parties. So we use the Hyperledger, which is backed by the Linux Foundation. Many corporations contribute to the code development. And today, we have buyers, suppliers in different industries working with founders, commercial finance companies to create funding requests, make offer, compare offer, and also to track financial performance and provide analytics on the cash flow. Now, what we have in the roadmap is to bundle payment and also the multi-lender syndication situation so that we can take on larger transactions and allow more liquidity to flow in the system. And distributed ledger technology is a great tool to handle these kind of multi-party transactions with trust, reduce administration costs, and automate the fund collection and distribution process. Next slide. So some of the use case, we work with importers, for example, in the US logistics and wholesale trade, so that they can pay their Brazil sugar mill $5 million before they can release the cargo to be shipped to the United States. We also help India food manufacturer to export rice and spices to US, Canada, South Africa, and Hong Kong, so that by buying their invoices for early payment, they can allow their customer to buy now and pay later and increase their sales. And so these are just some of the use cases. Next slide, please. Because of what we do, we present choices and opportunities to small and medium enterprises who may not know these tools exist or who may not know what trustworthy commercial finance companies they can work with. We were recognized by the Small Business Association for Export last year, and I'm pleased to share that we are the finalists to the Go Global 2023 Award finalists with the International Trade Council next month. So wish us luck. So as the founder, I stand before you. It's been a long journey. My hair was actually black before I started this journey a couple years ago. And I've been self-funding to well over $1 million, including having sold my condo. But to make LedgerFunding what it can be, to help small and medium businesses around the world to do global trade, to create more economic opportunities for local communities, create jobs, and to make the digital platform being the gold standard for any online marketplaces with trust. I invite you, those who are interested in investing and collaborating with us, let's talk. Please reach out to me. And thank you, and God bless.